As San Diego faces hundreds of millions of dollars a year in projected federal funding cuts, county leaders are taking action to offset those losses. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Today, the Board of Supervisors approved a policy change that would let the county access more of its financial reserves. While supporters say this will ensure San Diegans maintain access to health care and food benefits, opponents say it will leave county residents more vulnerable to things like natural disasters or financial downturns.
CBS 8's Richard Allen is here now with more on both sides of this fiscal debate. Richard?
Well, that's right. And this policy change by the Board of Supervisors approved today in a 3-2 vote would allow the county to tap into roughly $380 million to help offset losses in federal funding to programs like Medi-Cal and nutrition assistance programs like SNAP. But opponents, including Supervisor Jim Desmond, see this move as, in his words, a reckless step backward for San Diego County.
We cannot bury our heads in the sand and hope these crises that have been brought upon by this federal administration just happen to disappear.
Those projected cuts already approved at the federal level are expected to cost the county of San Diego more than $300 million a year, impacting an estimated 400,000 San Diegans who risk losing health care and 100,000 who could lose food assistance.
There are guardrails under this proposal to prevent unwise spending, but I do think that it is immoral to have the amount that we have in reserves while we are looking at the conditions of our communities.
We've taken a really careful look at our reserve policies to figure out how we can unlock some of those reserves for the crisis that we now face, but do it in a way that is fiscally responsible and fiscally sustainable.
I think this is reckless behavior.
Supervisor Jim Desmond, who voted down the move, pointed out that more than $40 million of these unlocked reserves would go toward county staff bonuses.
So this is being called to modernize our reserves. I think it's a raid on the taxpayer savings.
It's one-time money that they're going to spend on continuing problems.
Supervisor Joel Anderson, who also rejected the measure, says he does not want the county to be in a similar position as the city of San Diego, mired in debt, which last year had to rely on the county for $33 million to assist the flood victims in southeast San Diego.
I don't want to be like other communities in California where they haven't properly put aside the reserves necessary to protect their communities.
Anderson is especially concerned about the possibility of a devastating wildfire like the 2003 Cedar Fire, pointing out that more than 500,000 San Diegans living in unincorporated areas rely on the county for assistance.
They jumped off a cliff, leaving so many communities vulnerable if there's an emergency, whether it's a flood, earthquake, fire, pandemic.
And while this was passed today by a 3-2 vote, a second reading will be required in order to formally approve this new policy change.
A similar proposal was actually rejected back in April by the board. So what changed?
Well, that's right. Well, we have Paloma Aguirre now, it's a nonpartisan board, but she is a Democrat. So she was able to add that third vote to Tara Lawson-Remer's vote and Monica Montgomery Stepp's vote. So that's basically what changed. The power balance changed over the past month.
And Supervisor Montgomery Stepp does say that there are guardrails in place.
Yeah, and
what does that look like?
Well, I mean, to use these funds, it's $380 million in newly available reserve funds. But for one thing, they could only use 25% of that every fiscal year. So that would be $95 million. And to use those funds to tap into them, they would need 4 votes instead of 3. So that could be potentially difficult after looking at today's vote, which was quite a bit contentious.
We're going to see what happens next. But yeah, definitely felt the shift in the board with that. Richard Allen reporting. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you.